with another Burn and Learn. Yeah, it's not an easy one today, I'd have to say. I was a little later in the day because I had too much to do before then. And yeah, definitely feeling it now. Also, whacked myself in the side of the nose. I don't know how I managed to do that. Only I could get injured while doing exercise on a rowing machine, but somehow I managed. So yeah, this is a Burn and Learn. This is my bid to stay alive and fit long enough to enjoy my retirement years with my fabulous son Sebastian, my brilliant, beautiful, and amazing wife Jane, and our, coterie of coterie. Would it be, of animals, basically crazy mutts and weird, mysterious geckos and all that kind of stuff. And a whole bunch of plants that I'm working on right now, by the way. Anyways, I've done my exercise. I've done 30 minutes again today, which is good. But as I say, it was a bit like pulling teeth today. Hello, Dan. Hello, Metal, or some Metal NG. And Meshogot and Radude. And being alive is nice, isn't it? I caught 2 lives in 2 days. Pretty sweet. Dan, well done, buddy. Greetings from Germany. Thank you very much, Enbrand. What? Radude? Well, I'm early. Well, super, Radude. You got here early and get 3 call outs. Hi, gang. Hello, Jesse Slicer. Hey, buddy. Hope you're good. I'm currently stuck trying to fly back to Canada from the U.S. with little success, several cancellations and delays. Oh, my God, James. Oh, you poor man. James is our fabulous cybersecurity friend. And I guess this is the shutdown, right? So there's a shutdown going on in the States, and they're saying that as of Friday, they had to drop the number of flights by, I think they said 10%. I'm not sure if they're doing it right away or if they're just slowly building up to 10%, but basically they're at a point now where they've got air traffic controllers not getting paid, who are freaking out. And in many cases have gone to get other jobs on the side. So at least they've got some money coming in so they can sort of feed their families and stuff. And are calling in sick and all the rest of it. I don't blame them at all. And so we're having to cut back on this stuff. And what can I say? While all this happens and food stamps stop showing up for people who need them to survive, there are parties going on at Mar-a-Lago, whatever the hell that idiot calls his place, and there's renovations at the White House, and it really feels a bit like Marie Antoinette, does it not? And what was the next stage of that? Yes, I think it was guillotines, actually. So, yeah, I mean, let them eat cake. It's absolutely extraordinary. Anyway, so sorry, James. I'm sorry you're stuck in that madness. Too bad Amtrak's not faster. God, I love the train. I really do love the train. Wholesome vampire. Hello. Oh yeah, U.S. canceling 10% of flights. Yeah, exactly. Athena. Hello, Athena. Tony Parker. Jenny A. Cal. Oh, I was seconds away from going to bed. Oh, Cal, get some sleep. Don't. I'm all good here. I'm fine. You don't have to listen to me babbling on. But everyone, giant love to Cal. So she sleeps knowing how well loved she is. Good to see you, Cal. Good to see everyone for that matter. Thy Space Pope. Oh, super. It's Thy Space Pope. I like that. Christian, how are you? And we got a Helen C in here for good afternoon. Okay. So Burn and Learn. What have I learned today? Today I am listening to In Our Time. That is the name of the BBC podcast I'm listening to. There are thousands, literally thousands of these things. And I am thoroughly enjoying them, if probably missing an awful lot, because I'm whining and complaining in my head about all the exercise I have to be doing while I'm doing it. But today I was learning about hormones, which are just kind of it's something you'd always sort of think of, but you don't really think about how they work and just how much of an impact they have on our lives. Here's the funny thing. In hearing about how they work, basically they're these they're basically proteins, I think. Well, there's 3 different types. There's steroids. There are God, what was it? There are steroids. Nope, can't remember now. Damn it! This is the problem with not being able to write stuff down. So I'm gonna have to go through and look at this stuff again. Anyways, 3 different types of proteins, and basically what they do is they sort of run through the system, knocking on doors, and if their key opens that door, it opens up, and then they can activate or deactivate or whatever it is they need to do. And this can happen very quickly, and they have some of them have very short half-life, some of them have longer lives, and just the way they run the system and the way like our fight or flight mechanism and that kind of stuff, which is all controlled. It just got me thinking about free will and just how much of this stuff, how much truly how much control do we have over who we are and how we are and what we do is really fascinating. I've put a call out to the fabulous um, James Gurney, because I'd love to have a chat with him about certainly get into the phages side of stuff, but I'm hoping we can maybe touch on some other stuff as well, because there's just so much interesting things going on. Endorphins, yeah. Does someone know what the three different types of does anyone know what the three different types of hormones are? Human growth hormone, HGH. Yeah, beautiful eating from Czech Republic. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Pretty freaking miserable here. Today's been a horrible, soggy, wet, miserable fall day, and I loved it. I got to walk in the cloudy weather with the dog, and she was a pain in the butt as always. Interesting email in regards to the Stargate Genius podcast. Oh, thank you very much. I shall have a look at that. Darth Purin. I'll see what's going on there. As somebody who has a primary immune deficiency condition, I've been told about many things with the human body, but forgotten most of it. Oh, good. Okay, so it's not just me. LFC for Life Jedi. I'm sorry about the immune issues, but yeah, it is amazing how much the stuff just goes in one ear and out the other. I finally caught alive. I hope everyone is doing well. Stargate Chris, welcome to my little chatter. Don't drown in the puddles, jumper. Martin, that's terrible. It looks like the Hungarian flag draped over your chair. And it's not actually. You know what it is? It's the what is it? Hudson's Bay Company. What are they called? Rugs? No, blankets. It's a weird thing. It has a very sort of. It reminds me of being a kid here in Toronto. But Jane got a bunch of them before they closed up. But these are the colors of the Hudson's Bay Cup. You know, so you get to see them a little better. But there you go. That's how they all come together. It's just basically a series of different colors, and that was the colors of this huge department store that used to sort of stand as a beacon in downtown Toronto and elsewhere as well. And yeah, the Bay. Yeah, exactly, the Bay. That's what it used to be called, the Bay. I used to go. Here's a crazy story. Back when in my misspent youth. I was quite young, like 18 or 19. So I got kicked out of the house at 17. Way to go, Dad. That was actually a really good call because it got me working. Thank you. So around 18, 19, I was smoking. I didn't have any money. So what I learned from my evil little sister, not Kate, this is Moy, was that you could get, even if you were a young loser like me with no money, you could still get a Bay credit card. And so you get this Bay credit card. Then what you do is you go and buy a gift certificate. Then you take that gift certificate, you take it up to the counter where you can buy cigarettes, and you can basically buy cigarettes on credit. This is before you could do any of that kind of stuff in certainly in Canada. So I used to many a time when I buy cartons of cigarettes with gift cards, because what you had to do is you couldn't actually use the gift card to buy the cigarettes. You'd get a gift card for like $100 or $50 or whatever you thought you might be able to have a chance of paying back at some point. And you would take it to one of the counters and buy like a pack of gum for 50 cents. And then they would give you change for that. And then you would take that cash and go up and buy the cigarette. So that's how that would work. I finally finished that research on the new studies in quantum computing and crystal data storage and processing. Wow, Aaron, how'd that go? And would I understand a word of it is the next question. I'd say Xanadu, Xanadu AI, that company, that guy I spoke to for one of my I'm with Stargate Genius chats, is in the press all the time now. So it's doing very well. Do you still smoke? No. Darth Purin, I haven't smoked for decades at this point, and I do not miss it. In fact, I've turned into one of those people who I can't stand the smell of it. It gives me a headache instantly. It's like, I just get so pissed off because I'm like, I'd rather be smoking. I don't be inhaling someone's bloody secondhand smoke. No, crazy habit. I smoked for way too long. I'm sure it'll come catch up with me at some point, but no, it's been a long time. There were people who'd exploit credit card rewards to purchase liquid assets to get essentially free money feedback loop. Yeah. Some of those things are amazing, actually. I mean, this is the thing that I think we have to keep in mind, is that we as a species will always game the system. Like, we always game the system. We can't help it. We're always trying to make it more efficient or make it work better for us or get around rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff. So, all my friends that smoke told me, don't start. Yeah, no, really smart. Don't start. I mean, I thought, I'll try it. I'm not going to get addicted. I'm not an idiot. And of course, I smoked for many, many years. Like the classic Cobra effect. what is the classic Oprah effect? So anyways, so these hormone things, what I love about this show is there's this one old host who's freaking hilarious. He's like something out of a Harry Potter movie, but he's wonderful. And he brings in usually 3 or 4 specialists in an area. In this case, there are people who could speak to the whole hormones side of stuff and how it affects the bodies. They're talking about how it affects pregnancy. I mean, of course, hormones are huge when it comes to pregnancy because you want to be very, very specific in the regulation of the hormones getting to the kid, because you don't want them not getting enough to not grow fast enough or get interfered with or by having it slow down processes because of hormones or whatever. So it's very, very it's very sort of fine tuned, this process. It's as I say, it makes me wonder, are we bags of chemicals that just respond to whatever the signals are that our bags of chemicals are getting? And it's very odd. There's so many things coming up recently now that are sort of I'm beginning to sort of pull them together. And one of them is this idea that our memories are not accurate, that memories are not rewound and then replayed. They are rebuilt every time we have them. And that we can be completely unaware of fallacies getting stuck in there, or agendas or whatever getting stuck in there, either by having someone mess with the way you are asked to reply to or how to bring them up, and also how you just also your own little biases and stuff as you get older. So the fact that the memories that we have that are so crystal clear in our minds, I saw it, I remember these little elements and all this kind of stuff. Nope. Apparently, that can be wildly inaccurate. And this is what Baz is actually studying in school right now, which of course is fascinating to me. Poor kid. I'm like, can you send me your textbook? I'd like to read it, please, because your dad's a nerd. So was looking at some of that stuff. Just amazing. But then it starts me wondering about, again, how much control do we have over this stuff? If our brain is so easily tricked, if just by using different words like, oh, when you smashed into the car, what speed were you driving? Or when you lightly bumped that woman, how fast were you moving? In the, that kind of stuff. It sounded odd, didn't it? And anyways, the point being is how you're asked the question can influence how you then respond, and literally how you remember this stuff. And there's whole studies about this false memory syndrome, which is, oh, Daffy, thank you very, very much. My nation is Czech. Is Czech. I have a problem with alcohol. I admire Zelenka. He is okay. Is that right? Have I got that right? Alcohol is another tough one. I got to say, I've actually I drink again now. Like I didn't used to. I was completely off. Look, thank you very, very much, Daffy. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Yeah, alcohol is an interesting one, isn't it? Because I read a Stephen King book, which I'm reading another one right now. I'm reading Salem's Law right now. God, it's creepy. It's fun, cheesy, creepy. I read The Shining just before my son was born, and I read The Road, Cormac McCarthy's The Road. It's 2 books I read before my son was born, and 2 miserable books. But there was a line in The Shining that said, where he grabs his son's arm because he's doodled on top of one of his manuscripts or something. He grabs his son's arm and he says, with that snap, I separated my past from my future. And it so got me. It so terrified me that I might do something just with like 1 beer in me or 2 beers in me or whatever, do something stupid or thoughtless or just an accident, just have a normal accident that could happen anytime. But if it happened with a couple of drinks in you, how that would change both my perspective and everyone else's perspective on it. And the idea that I could never forgive myself if I thought, oh my God, is there a chance I wouldn't have done that if I'd had a couple of drinks or whatever? So I quit drinking entirely when Baz was born. There's also that was before Baz was born, actually. The other thing, of course, was Jane couldn't drink while she was pregnant. And obviously, sort of in support, I wanted to help her out. So I didn't drink either. And I got to the point where actually and I think I still do prefer not to drink. Given a choice, I would not drink, I don't think. But, when there's certainly social aspects of it that I think it's very difficult, as I found with cigarettes. it was very difficult to change your social circles so that it worked without cigarettes. I remember my friends laughing at the idea of me ever quitting cigarettes because it was just I always had a cigarette. It was always me. Now people laugh at the thought that I might smoke. So alcohol again, I'm very wary of it because I don't want to get back into it being a habit, because I felt like I was being, again, controlled by it to some extent. We just come back to the free will thing. But I also wanted to be able to relax and enjoy a social drink with friends and families and that kind of stuff. So started sort of reintroducing it. I'm not sure if I like it. I mean, I love it. That's the problem. But I'm not sure that it's. I worry that it might be a slippery slope. That it may not be that. Maybe I don't have the wherewithal to do this. I feel like there's two different types of alcoholism. One of them is alcoholism, where you literally have like a physical addictive nature that alcohol that has on you. I mean, I know people who one drink and their personality changes instantly, and they're a mess, they're a disaster. But I think there's also an addictive nature to alcohol for people who aren't alcoholic. I think you can be, I think you can get addicted to alcohol, if that makes sense. In the same way that you could get addicted to many other things, like eating chocolate after dinner every night or whatever. Another bad habit of mine. Do as I say, not as I do. Anyways, I definitely struggle with that. I'd be curious to know what other people think about that, because I want to be able to have a beer with friends and not be the uptight guy who's not drinking. I want to enjoy a party after 9 o'clock because I'm not the only sober person there and everyone else is acting like an idiot. I'm not saying I want to be drunk. I'm just saying I just like to be relaxed enough that I can enjoy that. So, Aaron Fritz, let's see what Aaron Fritz has to say here. Hey, David. So my own studies have found deep structures hidden in the human genome that can be triggered with certain words or even sounds or smells. The use of neurolinguistic programming has huge applications, especially when it comes to the study of genetic memory. It's amazing the effects of certain memories, even thoughts about reality that come up in these types of conversations. Wow. Boy, I don't really understand a lot of that. I don't know how you could trigger. How can you trigger structures found deep? So I guess what you're saying, well, but those are hormones basically, aren't they? That's what you're saying, is if you can trigger hormones, you're going to trigger memories and effects, right? Is that not the same? Is that a genetic memory? Genetic memory. Genetic memory. I don't know. That's beginning to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I follow entirely, Aaron. But I'm interesting. Binge drinking is the other. Yeah, binge drinking is a big problem, right? Coffee's my addiction. Oh my god, I love coffee. Yeah, a lot of people seem to develop alcohol habits and/or addictions. Personally, I've never had any issues with alcohol. It's been easy for me to drink occasionally. Yeah, that's great, and I think there are people who can do that. I'd love to be one of those people. Jane is one of those people too. I mean, she can go out and have a bunch of drinks with friends and then not drink for weeks without even thinking about it. I get all worked up. I've got this weird sort of like Anglo-Saxon guilt about it of some sort, where I feel like or puritanical thing where it just somehow feels like I'm letting myself down or something when I do. But anyways, weird issues that I'm sure I've got to figure out. I saw Chris Judge still smokes, which I kind of blew my mind for 1 second. Then I realized he is old school. He is definitely old school Darth Vader. He definitely is. Usually only drink on weekends. Coffee is my addiction. It's funny, I used to. There's a great song. We used to only drink on weekends. There was a line in a song that I always loved because that is the insidious nature of it. I mean, here's the other thing that we have to get into, but when we talk about alcohol, is as much as I like the taste of it, and as much as I like the whole idea of it, and its calming influence. One of the reasons why I drank so much when I was younger was sort of to stop the noise. You know what I mean? There's just so much. Always so much going on in my head, which I've now learned to love and appreciate, and hopefully focus on things like this. Thank you, Stargate Chris. Oh, you've got to run. Okay, Chris, you run. I was wondering if you had any 3D printing project in the works. Have a great weekend, everyone. Oh boy, thank you, Stargate Chris. So 3D printing projects. The next thing will probably be me trying to figure out this card sorter. So I'm gonna have to 3D print some parts to customize the Prusa printer that I have, the old Prusa printer, the original one. I want to customize it so I can use it to do some card sorting for me, like figure out how to go through my Magic the Gathering stuff. So that will probably be my next big 3D printing. Actually, no, I take it back. There is another 3D printing project. I'm printing a bunch of holders for the trading cards, and the next step will be to print some really fun dividers. So I've got this little design that I want to do that has the name of the, like, it'll say like One Piece or OP, like One Piece 01. That'll be the, Romance Dawn, and then Romance Dawn written on the top. And I want it to be written on the top of a little card that then slots into the thing, so you can look through and see on the top what it is without it being too thick either. So that's the new project right now. You'll have to show us the card sorter when you're done. Yeah, I will have to, Wholesome Vampire, if I ever get it done, because I'm very big on wanting to do projects and not getting them done. Another thing I beat myself up about. Loved you at the Stargate franchise. Oh, thank you very much. You play Magic? What about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon? Okay, so I have played Magic. I have played Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh! I have not played. I do have some old cards of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I'm thinking I might sell, because some of them are worth a bit of money. We bought them way, way, way back when, just as one of the trading card possibilities with the kid when he was growing up. I am now a huge One Piece trading card game fan. I've rapidly gone off Magic the Gathering. I feel very disappointed with Hasbro for the way they've treated the trading card community. I feel like they've overpriced stuff. I feel like they've made it impossible for anyone but, rich tech bros to play the damn game anymore. And I wish they'd just go back to basics. And so I'm sort of looking for a solution to that. And that solution was One Piece. One Piece has got some great stuff. And it's a really fun game to play. Baz and I played it a couple of times. Oh my God, someone else is throwing Daffy again. Thank you so much. I don't know how to translate that. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what that says, but thank you. Thank you, Daffy777. I didn't know there was a One Piece trading card game. Oh, you're welcome. Get in there. It is so much fun. I would suggest this. Buy a couple of pre-made decks and then bring them with you, and then coerce friends into playing with you, and you'll get a sense of it. It's really, really fun. I wish there was a really good online version of it that I could play and show people. But I think there's only like a training one that I'm aware of. So, it is Hewlett. It's true. Zidane Eric, Helldiver Guru. My question for David is, have you ever smoked pot or done substances to get into a role? I have not, Helldiver. I have not. I am a very uptight and conservative man. And I always have been, unfortunately, even as a little kid. Alcohol was the furthest I would go with my, with messing up my brain. I did, feebly attempt certain other things over the years, but never. You know what? I like my brain. I mean, and it doesn't work terribly well anyway, so I feel like it doesn't need any help not working. So, I'd like to sort of keep that. I frankly wish I hadn't drank as much as I did when I was a kid. And I did. I was a kid when I was drinking. I started drinking and smoking when I was 14. I mean, that was, so I can only imagine what kind of brain cells I've destroyed in that process. But again, I have no, I don't. Yeah, I guess I worry more about this. I worry that so many people want to escape their existence, because that implies to me that the problem is systemic. That we have, that they're so bored, or they're so stressed, or they're so deprived of whatever else they, of interest and curiosity or whatever in their lives, that they have to resort to this stuff. But this also applies to social media. It also applies to video games. I mean, you can escape in all of these things. And that's my biggest concern with it. I just think it's so sad when people don't realize that they're missing things because they're too busy trying to sort of get out of their head on things. So yeah, I've got a very conservative approach on that. And I was never cool. I tried very hard to be cool. And the best thing I ever realized was that I could stop pretending and I could just be a freaking nerd. Because, I just, I'm not the coolest guy. I can't, I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the coolest guy. I'm not the funniest guy. But I am who I am. And I sound like Popeye the Sailor Man. Anyways, that was the most amazing thing for me, was discovering that realizing that I should stop pretending to be something that I wasn't, because that's what I do for a living. What else we got? Good question though, Helldiver Guru. I hope I answered it for you. Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh my god. We would totally love signed cards from you. Oh, really? Signed Yu-Gi-Oh cards? sure I could figure something out, but really, Hasbro doo-doo. Yeah, no kidding. All right. Yeah, the crossovers, Darth Piran. That's my frustration with it. Like, it's like, oops, what am I sharing here? I don't even know what I was sharing there. What's going on here? How do I get rid of that? Don't show that. Hide that. Hide that. There we go. It's very hard on this phone. It's so small. Daffy, thank you very much, but stop it. We need Zelenka. It's true. What is your favorite game card? The best love, Yu-Gi-Oh, Poke, or Magic? My heart is with Magic. I've got to say, I love Magic. I love the art of Magic. I love the game of Magic. Yeah, I just love it. But Hasbro, honestly, since they started doing all these sort of tie-ins and these expensive collector packs and stuff, I've really soured on it. It doesn't feel like fun anymore. It feels like a business in a way, and I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the sense that I get. I liked it back when, you just had trading cards, and every so often you'd get a really great one, and that could be worth money. Wow, how cool is that? As opposed to these like collector packs that are designed to be bought for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And that's not to say I don't have some. I have two, actually. I bought two boxes of collector boosters. One for my favorite deck, which was I want to say Kalir, but it's not. What is it called? It was the Japanese cyberpunk one. I freaking loved it. That was my favorite. I think it's still maybe my favorite. And I also bought the Dungeons and Dragons one because I just thought, oh, come on, it's Dungeons and Dragons meets trading cards meets Magic the Gathering. I mean, it's kind of hard to lose out on that. But I will also say I really enjoyed Pokemon too. And we played Pokemon. Like Baz and I played the game. We didn't just collect the cards. We have a bunch of Pokemon cards. I think I will probably sell them because once I've sorted them, because it's very popular right now. It's becoming again kind of overly expensive, and I can't keep track of what's what. What I should probably do is figure out. Maybe you guys can help me with this. I got to figure out what do I collect, because I'm an idiot. I just go and go like, oh, I like that card. Oh, I like that card, and I buy them and I spend money and I shouldn't, and I open packs that's basically just gambling. And what I need to do is figure out what do I want to collect. And I'm thinking for One Piece, I'm thinking I might pick. I just like the idea of the Dawn, and the Dawn is kind of like the mana cards from Magic the Gathering. They're Dawn cards. Everyone needs 10 of them for a game, and I love the idea of having like 10 really cool like collector Dawn, and that's the flair that I have that I bring to the game. Yeah, it's One Piece is really fun. It's also, I got to say, I don't always love the storylines of the One Piece manga, but the manga that I'm sort of plowing through, the One Piece manga that I'm plowing through right now, is just the creativity in the characters that they come up with is just extraordinary. Like I just don't know how they think of this stuff. The characters are just absolutely wild, and it's surprisingly sort of, I don't know. It's surprisingly there's a surprising depth to it that I hadn't expected from a manga like that. All right, where are we at? I collect the cards when I can as a collector, as well as my One Piece Funko Pop collection. Oh, One Piece Funko Pop collection. How good would that be? Thank you. Have a good day, is what Daffy said. Oh, thank you very much, Sky. Okay, what are we saying here? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a great online play platform. Really? Hmm. Did you buy any of the new One Piece set that came out today? I did not. Metallica at 9. I actually went to buy some. I wanted to get on the pre-order list last night, and they were sold out at my local place. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Okay. In the live chat channel of the Discord, there is info for playing One Piece TCG on the PC. Oh, Darth, I saw that, but is that the full game though? Is that the entire game online that you can do? I thought it was just a training course that was available. Thank you. I should look more into that. I'd be worried about the amount of lead use back then. Good evening, David. Hope you're well. I am very well. Thank you, Natasha Brown, and a good evening to you as well. Once we can touch grass in VR, it's going to be over. Well, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I don't like VR. It makes me sick. But in fact, I would go one step further. I don't think we're going to be like, putting giant goggle things on our faces and pretend, and floors that move as we walk and all that nonsense. I think that is a waste of time and a waste of energy, and is clumsy. I think we need to hack the brain, because once you can figure out how to make your brain think that your feet are in grass, um, once your brain can give you the smells and the sights and the sounds, instead of having these silly things that have stuck on our heads trying to pretend that this stuff is happening, if you could just trigger the brain the right way, that would be amazing. Says the guy who doesn't do drugs. But still, I just think it'd be really, it just like everything else is really just a very, to me, very low tech approach to the brain. What we need to do is figure out how to send the right signals to the brain to make it feel that we were in another environment, and then forget it. Then we're the Matrix, baby. Then it's like, plug me in. I want to be, I don't want to be. I want to be in space and eating till I pop, and yeah, it'd be amazing. So yeah, I don't hold the same hope for virtual reality with the goggles, but the idea of virtual reality is amazing to me. The whole holodeck and all that kind of stuff is perfect. Like that is my, with what's all of our nerds' dream, isn't it? But I think we need to come up with a more efficient way. And to me, instead of sticking these things on the various different senses we have, I mean, how are we going to do taste? How are we going to do smell? All these things. I know they're working on it, but it all seems very, very sort of crude. If you just figure out what parts of the brain create that stuff and what those signals are, then you could. I know this is not easy, but that to me is that's the sci-fi dream for me for sure. All right, Friday night. Don't you people have things better to do than watch some old sweaty Stargate guy complaining about exercise? I love you for it. That one poor janitor was that. Imagine being able to unplug yourself from situations. I can think of multiple times I would have used that. Yeah, me too. Have you seen that thing where they said if you cut a ping pong ball in half and tape them to your eyes, you can hallucinate after a while? And I'm like, but wouldn't that be horrible? Oh my God, I can't imagine putting. Really? Is that how it works? That's weird. You know what's neat about the eye thing is if you close your eyes and you press on them, you get those sort of bursts of color. And my assumption is that's just your brain trying to process input from your eyes that it's not used to. It doesn't know what to do with, so it just shows it to you as color. There's got to be a way to hijack those signals and send them to the brain in the form you want them to be. Like you close your eyes, and instead of this is the feed, you get a feed from some little sensor at the back, or some little. I mean, I guess it would probably have to be quite invasive to work properly, but maybe we'll figure out a way that we can activate stuff without having to do invasive things like the what is that, Neuralink, like the Neuralink stuff. But I think we're so close to that, and I just feel like all the other stuff just seems like a waste of time to me. I mean, I know it'll be cool, and if it's great, I'm happy to use it and try it and all. But I'm a nerd. I can turn down tech, but at the same time, I feel like the direct connect is the way to go. The brain computer interface stuff is the way to go for sure. I hadn't heard about that ping pong thing though, Sky. I'll have to check that out. I don't think I'm going to be doing that somehow. Yeah, Ready Player One. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. LFC for life, Jedi. Yeah, that's it. I'd love that. Oh my God. Hey, David, I have Grease cards years ago. Luan Mout. I used to have Grease cards, but I don't have any of them left. Oh my God, I had Grease cards. I remember that. I had Charlie's Angels cards, okay? But yeah, I'd forgotten about the Grease cards. Oh my God, that is a blast from the past. Thank you very much. Happy to see you. Happy to see you, or food. I like that as a combination. Happy to see you too, Frank. Michael Frank. You're younger than me, Jenny A. Okay. If you say so. I don't believe you. Friday nights used to be new Stargate. Now with you, it is again. There you go. Friday night with with a grumpy old sweaty Stargate guy. See? I have an 18-year-old dog in my lap right now, so I can't get up. Might as well watch the stream. Yeah, good excuse, Sky. Good excuse. Have a good evening and night. Thanks for the live. 11 p.m. from France. See you. Bye. Alexandre. Bonne nuit, mon ami. Merci for your company, because that's all the French I've got. Sensory deprivation is the thing that the ping pong ball. Oh, so it's a bit like the sensory deprivation tanks. Do you guys see Altered States? Remember that? Man, that was cool. That was so weird. Oh, okay. All right, hang on a second. I'm just gotta say goodbye. See ya. See you guys later. My wife is having a production meeting, and so I just wanted to say goodbye to them. And so now I realize I've just shouted into your ears, and I apologize for that. Sorry. Okay, here I go. Life in one of those float tabs. Line one of those. I've never done it in Tasha Brown. I'd love to. I would love to. That'd be so cool. Okay, David, someone's got something to say here. What do we say? Okay, David. So basically, a study was done on a few college campuses. Oh, for God's sake. How do I get rid of it keeps highlighting things? Stop it. Okay. I need to. All right. Okay, so basically, a study was done on a few college campuses where 3 groups of students had been asked to cram for a test. The control didn't drink at all, crammed for the test the night before, took the test next day, and didn't do great, but they did well. While second group was asked to do a night of drinking and asked to not drink the next day, did even worse as they were hungover and couldn't remember, let alone focus. However, the third group was asked to drink the night before while cramming for the test, and the next day were asked how to have just a few drinks to get a buzz in the morning or just an hour and a half before the test. Those in, oh, for God's sake, stop the hiding and the showing of the damn things. Groups that had not, so they did 80, sorry, who's this? The smell of the alcohol cramming for the night, and this was just an hour and a half before the test. Those in the third group who had the hair of the dog found that they did better, triggering those memories from cramming for the test. And it was a combination of the taste to the smell of the alcohol that made all the memories from the night of cramming come back in greater detail than the other 2 groups that had not. And group 3 did 82% better than the other groups. So applying this thought could help with opening the abilities to trick our minds and, like you said, hijack those signals or sensory input. Wow. I wonder if you could do the same thing only without the alcohol, using just like sensory inputs like that. I guess that's what you're saying, isn't it? I feel, oops, there you go. Feel the brain is already hard-coded to generate believable imagery from nothing in dreams. So like maybe not so much sending an actual picture of a tiger to your brain, but telling your brain generate a tiger and letting it do its thing. Exactly, Star Pilot 6. That is exactly it. How do we 3D print this? Man, I would love to be able to figure this stuff out. I would be insane. Okay, it was a difficult day. You are brightening the day. Good to think about different things. Oh, Michael Frank, I hope things are good. Yes. Oh, hey, Jane. Hey, baby. Just burning and learning. Sir, I did yell down goodbye. Okay. All right. I'll be like 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Love you. Poor Jane. She's like a YouTube widow. I'm always sitting there nattering on to you guys. Okay, it's called LSD. Yeah, haven't done that. I feel like I'm already flaky enough. Brian O'Neill. I'll sing. Oh boy, Neil Singleton. I guess I'm sorry, I got the name totally wrong there. Okay, I'm having to exercise more to help my own health, so these are good to listen to while I work on a static bike. Oh, good for you, Mark. My God, someone else is exercising. I've inspired someone into exercise. What's your opinion on the drone warfare going on in Ukraine? Oh my God, rad dude. I mean, it's really depressing, isn't it? I mean, it is ingenious work by Ukraine against a massive invading army, and they have once again shown how intelligence and bravery and know-how can work against another massive opposing force. I mean, that was Putin's invasion, and they are, the fact that they are still fighting that is just, I mean, it's amazing. It's also depressing because they shouldn't have to be fighting that. That should be, I feel like the rest of the world should be helping to sort that out. And instead, once again, instead we're redoing bathrooms at the White House, or we're renovating the East Wing, or whatever else. So it's the drone thing is interesting though, because and sadly, it is Ukraine is a place that they're basically testing out these technologies. It's in the same way that maybe Vietnam was the first sort of news war or televised war. The access that was available for people to that war. This is the drone war. I mean, this is literally, I mean, I would argue maybe even the internet war as well, because it's that side of stuff. It's a huge push for misinformation and trying to take things down from, the invading Russians, certainly. Again, I should say invading Putin, because I think it's Putin who's making that decision. I don't believe that Russia really wants that, or the people of Russia want that. I think they don't have any choice because of the Bond villain that's running the place. But it's unfortunately, this is war. War is amazingly good at advancing technologies, right? Because of the necessity of having one up on your enemy, and that is certainly coming into play now. I've got to say, I love the attack that they did on Russian infrastructure with a series of basically consumer drones. I can't remember what it was called, the attack that they did, but they basically sort of brought it back to Russia and attacked a number of their, I can't remember, there was oil refineries or whatever. It's certainly either power or electrical. I'm not sure what they exactly attacked, but that attack, is it called Spiderweb? Was absolutely brilliant, and just again shows, this happens, not to make light of this in any way, but this happens with films as well. If you have massive budgets and everything you possibly could need and people to make a movie, it's very easy to make a shitty movie. When you've got nothing and you just have to be smart, often you can make a scrappy little amazing independent film. And I think the same thing applies to warfare. I mean, Ukraine is a scrappy little country that has stood up to one of the largest armies on the face of our planet. And they've done it by being much smarter than the people who they're fighting, and innovating, constantly innovating. And I just wish that we were supporting them more in this regard, because I think it's shameful that they're still having to fight off our enemies for us, basically. So there you go. And like I say, I know there are people here from Russia. I know we've had people come in and say hi from Russia, and I want to be clear. I don't hold Russians responsible for this. I hold Putin responsible for this. I mean, obviously, there are people who are going to be agreeing with him and supporting him in his megalomaniac insanity, just as that is happening in the U.S. right now as well. But I still believe the people of Russia don't want this. I can't believe that. I know there's a lot of misinformation, but I like to think that if they truly knew what was going on, they would want no part of it. So, okay. And I also know that it's probably not easy to talk about that either. So, what I mean though is people felt the same way about cars when they first arrived. The benefits of drones for humanity could be incredible. Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. Look, I'm very excited about drones, not just for sort of buzzing around parks and taking photographs and stuff. The idea that we could have little flattened pads on the top of our garage and do as crow flies, commuting out of this bloody city, which is impossible to freaking drive in now. My call times now are so early for films that are shooting outside of Toronto, because they cannot expect me to get there within 2 to 2.5 hours if there's any kind of traffic. So I've got like 5 a.m. calls all the time now, because that's the only way to get someone out of the city in any kind of reasonable time. So yeah, it's amazing. Yes, Peter Sellers, The Mouse That Roared. Yeah, I'd be curious to see that, Lou. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I haven't seen that for years. Have you seen the company developing sling-launched drone delivery for medical services? Yeah, it's called Slingshot. It's amazing. Yeah, I love that. Again, this is the kind of stuff that I find fascinating. Also, just the amazing 3D printing stuff that's available in the way of the drones. There is a company, I can't remember where they're based. They're based in Europe somewhere. Amazing couple of kids who started a little project doing an underwater drone, and they are amazing. And I will have to put their link in somewhere because it's just awesome. Was walking to work yesterday morning and was followed by a drone for 2 streets. Oh, see, that's weird, man. That's just so weird. You know where drones will replace Malp on a stick operators? I drone on a stick. It works fine, Brian. Have a look at the China drone deliveries. What they're so far ahead of the West, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, well, look at Dubai. They've got drone taxis, and we don't. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's amazing. I feel like I mean, what did they say? The future is here. It's just not evenly distributed. That was William Gibson, right? Oh God, what am I sharing now again? Sorry, I keep sharing stuff. There is a mark or maybe a thing to hang pictures on the wall behind you, and whenever it is on the stream, I think it's something on my screen. It keeps fooling me. Aha! What is it, by the way? Oh, it's my son. I'm in my son's room, and I guess he's taken some of his decorations for the room, for his room at the university. So, all right, folks, I've been babbling on for far too long. I told my wife I'd be 2 minutes, and now I'm going. What do you think? Reply to Aaron Fritz. What do you think? David Hewlett. What am I saying? Humanity's fall is the failure of government's inability to grasp the one fundamental responsibility to mankind. World leaders need to understand that our planet is not going to sustain us indefinitely. We could reach so far past the stars if we could just stop bickering. Aaron Fritz, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a wonderful quote from what is his name? David Suzuki here, who are you worried that drones will replace? No, I'm gonna say, yeah. Sorry, I've somehow managed to highlight one that I'm not supposed to. Here we go. Yeah, there's a wonderful quote by David Suzuki who says that we are in a car careening towards a brick wall, and we are arguing over who's at the wheel. And I absolutely, I am disgusted by the way government, specifically the U.S., although I know Canada's got a lot of responsibility as well, but certainly the U.S., the way there's this complete and utter lying, like just bold-faced lying about the fact that we are responsible for undermining the climate of our planet. I mean, it's just it's revolting that we're still partying like it's 1999. That we're Nero fiddling while Rome burned, as we put it. I mean, that's literally what I feel like we're at right now. Like I feel like our planet is on fire, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be the first trillionaire. You know what I mean? Like I find it absolutely depressingly miserable, and I hope that at some point we'll be able to figure out how to correct course on that. And yeah, I would love to be the green tendrils that are reaching out to other planets and stuff like that. But right now, I think it'd be more like a cancer. So, we definitely got to get that stuff together. All right. Yeah, well, I'm going to blame it on the time dilation incident. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Like always, I'm amazed that people care enough to sit here and listen to me babble on and complain about exercise. But I did do 30 minutes today, and I am rewarding myself by having these chats. I'm going to go see my fabulous wife now, and I'm going to say, go check out Tech Bandits, techbandits.org. I changed it a little. There's a page now you can go to called Donate, and it actually has the links to the things you can donate to. I have a Patreon, and I did some new little graphics up there that I've been playing with all day. And way too long. And so please go check that out. Techbandits.org. Much appreciated. If you can sign up for the Patreon, that'd be wonderful. Anything can help, and will help. And until we meet again, I will say, be brave, be kind, be brilliant. Cheerio and huzzah. See y'all. Have a great weekend. Cheers.